Start in child pose. And just start settling in, bringing your awareness to your breath. Stretching your arms nice and long, and we'll take a couple of breaths here with Ujjayi breath. So let's inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, walk your hands over to the left to get a nice stretch on the right side of the body. You can place your right hand on top of your left, sending your sit bones to your heels. Sorry about my dog. And then come back to center, and then walk your hands over to the right. You get a nice stretch on the left side of the body. Sarah. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. And then come back to center. Take one more breath and empty out. And then come up to all fours. And let's take a couple of rounds of cow and cat. So inhale, cow. And then exhale, cat. Again, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. One more time, inhale, warming up our spine. Starting from the sacrum, come on into cat. And come back to neutral. And take your right hand up to the sky. And let's thread the needle. So resting your right shoulder on the earth, stretching your left arm out in front of you. Keep breathing, keep lengthening your spine. Take one more breath and bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder and take the right arm up to the sky and place it back down on the earth. And then the left arm, inhale and exhale, thread the needle. Stretching your right arm out in front now. Keep breathing. Take one more breath and bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Extend the left arm up and place it down underneath your left shoulder. And then tuck your shoulders under and come into downward facing dog. And you can wiggle around and do what you need to do here. Just to wake up our body and start warming it up. Grounding down into the L's of the hands. Sending the sacrum straight up to the sky and finding your drishti right through your legs here. Internally rotating those quads as you externally rotate the triceps by grounding down and opening up those mason jars, L's of the hands. Come up to the balls of the feet and tiptoe all the way up to your thumbs. And come on into ragdoll. Just heavy head, soften the knees, bending right from the hips, letting everything go. You can sway from side to side if that feels good. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. And then release the hands to the earth and toe heel the feet back together. And uncurl the spine, one vertebra at a time, and root to rise to extended mountain pose. Wrapping those pinky fingers towards one another. Good. And then bringing the palms together and then thumbs to your heart. And gaze down at your fingertips or close your eyes and set an intention for your practice this morning. Good. And then open your eyes. Extended mountain pose, inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And step back to high plank. And hold your plank here, keeping your stomach engaged. Your head's an extension of your spine. Keep pulling that, pressing the navel towards the lumbar, and then your abdominal muscles up to your ribs, and those ribs together as you lower all the way down, hugging your elbows into the sides of the body. Come on into baby cobra. Good. And then back to child pose, stretching the arms nice and long. And then tuck the toes under and come on into downward facing dog. Taking your breaths here. In and out through the nose, outer shins in. Sending the heels to the earth. Hugging everything into the center. Soft bend in the elbows, don't lock them. Take one more breath and either step or float forward. Take a halfway lift, long spine, and forward fold, let it go. Soft knees, root to rise, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. A halfway lift, and either step or float back to up dog. Good. To downward facing dog. Nice. Take your breaths again. Finding the drishti at the back of the room, at the end of the mat. Don't close your eyes here. Energetically trying to press those thumbs together. Index fingers are straight forward. Take one more breath. Soften the knees and either step or float forward. Halfway lift and forward fold. Root to rise, extended mountain pose. Nice. Exhale, forward fold. A halfway lift and either step or float back to up dog to downward facing dog. Take your breaths again, sending the sacrum straight up to the sky. Keep the sides nice and long, as well as your spine. Take one more breath. Soften the knees and either step or float forward. One more time with sun salutation A, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, extended mountain pose. Nice. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And either step or float back to up dog. Nice. To downward facing dog. Breathe in and out through the nose. Outer ankles are pressing down towards the earth as you spin those inner ankles to the back of the space there. Take one more breath. Soften the knees and either step or float forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, let it all go, forward fold. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart, and come on into chair pose. Spinning those pinky fingers towards one another, sitting nice and low, like you're gonna sit right down into a chair. Span fingers, spread them nice and wide, like little sparklers at the tips of the fingers. The thumbs are pointing back towards the back of the space. Sit 3 inches lower and lift nice and high off the hips. One more breath, hands to the heart, to the earth. Halfway lift, then either step or float back to up dog, to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and come on up to warrior one. Good. Leveling that pelvis, trying to get the triceps by the ears, setting your drishti right at eye level. See if you can get that right quad parallel to the earth as you ground down to all 4 corners of both feet and hug everything into the center. Good. Trying to take up as much space as you can. Take one more breath. Hands through the heart to the earth. Step back to high plank. Lower down to low plank. To up dog. To downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, right up to your thumb, step lightly, and come on up to warrior one. Good. Sending that left hip back, right hip forward. Again, leveling the pelvis, shoulders down, arm bones back. Nice. So you can sink a little bit lower in that left quad. Lift a little bit higher with the fingers to the sky. Take one more breath. Hands to the heart, to the earth. Step back to high plank. Lower down to low plank. To up dog. To downward facing dog. Take your breaths again. Breathing in and out through the nose. Take one more breath. Soften the knees and either step or float forward. Halfway lift. And forward fold, empty out. Chair pose. Sitting nice and low. Good, keeping your heart nice and open. Ribs knitted together. Sink about 3 inches lower, tracking those knees right over the third toe. And you're back in your heels, so you can lift all 10 toes off. Take one more breath. Hands to the heart, to the earth. Halfway lift, and either step or float back. To up dog, to downward facing dog. Take your right leg up to the sky, as high as it goes, and curl in knee to nose. And hold it there, and then step it right up between your thumbs, your foot. Come on up to warrior one. Sending that right hip back, left hip forward. Good. Keep breathing. Keep reaching those fingers up. Nice long sides of the body. Good. And grounding down to all 4 corners of both feet. And kind of trying to wrinkle up that mat by squeezing those feet together, inner thighs. One more breath. Hands to the heart, to the earth. Step back to high plank. Lower down to low plank. Up dog to downward facing dog. Left leg up to the sky. And curl in, knee to nose, and hold it there. Hold it there for a breath, another breath. Step the left foot forward between the thumbs. Come on up to warrior one. Leveling your pelvis. Good. Keep reaching. Keep sinking down into that left knee, left quad. Keep breathing, finding the drishti at eye level. Right out through the horizons there. Don't get the floor. One more breath. Hands to the heart, to the earth. Step back to high plank. Lower down to low plank. To up dog. To downward facing dog. Take your breaths again. Breathing in and out through your nose. Staying nice and calm here. Take one more breath. Come up to the balls of the feet, soften the knees, and step forward. Halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Chair pose. Come on into chair pose. Good. Hands to the heart, to the earth. Halfway lift. Either step or float back. To up dog. To downward facing dog. Right leg up to the sky again. And curl in, knee to nose. And then 3-legged dog. And then right knee to right tricep. And then 3-legged dog. And then right knee to left tricep. And take that left pinky toe to the right pinky finger and open up to rock star. Sending the hips nice and high. Keep breathing, keep sending them higher. Take one more breath. Come back to 3-legged dog. Knee to nose and step through and come on up to warrior one. Good. Setting that right hip back, left hip forward, hands to the heart, to the earth, step back to high plank, lower down to low plank, to up dog, to downward facing dog. Good. Take the left leg up to the sky, curl in, knee to nose, and then three-legged dog, and then left knee to left tricep, to three-legged dog, and then left knee to right tricep, and send that left pinky toe up to the right pinky finger and open up to rock star. Good. Keep breathing. Take one more breath. Come back around to three-legged dog. Take knee to nose, curl in, and come on up to warrior one. Moving through all these asanas, nice and graceful. And then thumbs to your heart. Step back to high plank. Lower down to low plank. To up dog. To downward facing dog. Good. Bring your feet together. Back of the mat. Lift your right leg up. And bend your knee. And open up that hip. Stay nice and square in the shoulders. And then flip your dog. Breathing. Lifting the hips nice and high. Take one more breath and flip back around to a high plank. Ground down into the right arm and open up to side plank. Sending hips nice and high. Keep breathing. And then let the left leg float up. Step it behind for wild things. Lifting the hips nice and high. Keep breathing. Good. And then flip back over. Going to chaturanga, to up dog, to downward facing dog. Take a breath and empty out. Then bring the feet together, the back of the mat, zip up those legs, and lift the left leg up to the sky. And bend the knee, sending the knee straight up. Keep your breath going. And if you want, you can flip, or you can stay with the knee bent. And come on, good. Sending the hips high. Take one more breath. And gracefully flip back around and come into a high plank and ground down into the left arm and open up to side plank. Sending the hips forward and the shoulders to the back of the room. Keep breathing. Let the right leg float up and step it behind for wild things. Lifting those hips nice and high. Take one more breath and flip back around to high plank, lower down to low plank, up dog, good, to downward facing dog. Right leg back up to the sky, curl in, knee to nose, and step through and come on up to crescent lunge. Keep your breath going in and out through your nose, hugging everything into the center. Good. Pushing the right heel, the left heel over the left ball of the foot. Bring your thumbs to your heart. Come on forward and take a twist. Crescent lunge twist. On your inhale, you lengthen. And on the exhale, you twist. And you can open your arms if you'd like. That's available. Keep breathing. Keep staying high on that back foot, the ball of the foot, lengthening the spine, being mindful not to dump your torso on your right quad. And then gracefully come back around to warrior two. Finding your drishti over your right fingers, flip the palm, reverse the warrior, and then come on into side angle. You can do extended side angle, or rest your forearm on your quad, pushing the hips forward and opening up the chest. Good. Keep breathing, keep reaching that left arm to the ceiling, finger to finger. Lengthen. Grounding down into the left pinky side of the foot and skin the muscle, muscle the bone, squeeze it all into the center. And you can wrap if you want. If you want to bind, you can take a bind. It's a great heart opener. Lengthening the head towards the front of the space. Keep breathing, keep twisting on your exhale. Take one more breath, then release the hands to the earth and lower that left knee down to the earth and push back into half monkey. Flexing that foot nice and bringing the toes back towards you. Keep breathing. And if you want to come out to a full monkey, to a full split, you can come out to a full split. If that works for you, good. And then if you're in a full split, just bring your chest over your right leg and keep breathing. Good. Take one more breath, come back to a runner's lunge. And then let's toe heel our foot out to the edge of the mat and come on down to lizard. So you want to roll over on the pinky side of the right foot, lower that left knee down and come into lizard. This is a wonderful hip opener. And keep breathing in and out through your nose. And pressing that knee away from the midline, your right knee. You can even put your hand gently on the inside of your knee and put a little pressure there if you want. Take one more breath and then toe heel that foot back around to the middle of the mat and step back to high plank, lower down to low plank, to up dog, good, to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward and come on up to crescent lunge. Keeping your stomach engaged, keep pressing that belly button towards your lumbar. Nice wide back, squeezing those scapulas together, keeping the shoulders down and back, arm bones back. Keep reaching through those fingertips as much as you can and lowering that left quad, trying to get it parallel to the mat. Bring your thumbs to your heart and then take a twist. Take your right elbow outside your left knee and breathe. On your inhale, lengthen, and on your exhale, twist. Good. If you like, you can open your arms here. That's available, hugging everything in, especially that left hip. Don't let it stick out. And you're way up on the ball of the right foot. Take one more breath and then gracefully flip around to warrior two, windmill around. Good. Make adjustments if you need to. And finding the drishti over the left fingers. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Think of going more up than back. Keep breathing, keep grounding down all four corners of both feet, and then come on into side angle. Extended side angle, or you can rest your forearm on your quad. Most important thing is to keep that breath going, that ebb and flow of the ocean, sending the hips forward and the shoulders back. And if you like, you can take a bind here if that's available to you. It's a great heart opener. Keep lengthening the spine. Keep lengthening the head towards the front of the room. Keep your breath going. Keep opening the heart even more, stacking the shoulders on top of one another if you can. Take one more breath, and then release your hands to the earth and lower that right knee down and push back into half monkey. Keep the round out of the spine if you can. And then if you want to take a full monkey, you can slide out to the splits. That's available. Good. That's right. Good, Vivian. And then you can come forward. Keep breathing. Take one more breath. And then come back to a runner's lunge. And then toe heel that left foot out to the edge of the mat and roll over on your right pinky side and come on down for lizard. Again, you can place your hand on the inside of your left knee and gently put a little pressure there if you want. Most important thing is to keep that breath going. Good. Take one more breath and then come back to up to your hands and toe heel your foot back to the center of the mat. You can step back to downward facing dog, or you can go to chaturanga, lower down to up dog to downward facing dog. Soften the knees and either step or float forward. Take a halfway lift and exhale, forward fold. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart, and come on into chair pose. Sitting back in your heels, like you're sitting in a chair. Good, keep the shoulders down and back, drishti at eye level, thumbs to your heart, and then take a chair twist by taking your left elbow outside your right knee, being mindful to keep the hips lower than the heart. And you can also use that elbow as leverage to lift your torso up off your quad, hug everything into the center. Tendency is to let that left hip stick, the right hip stick out, and we don't want to do that. And then open the arms if you can. That's available. Keep breathing, keep lengthening, sitting back in the heels. You can lift all 10 toes off. And then release the hands to the earth. And toe heel your feet apart. With your peace fingers, grab your big toes. Take a halfway lift. The elbows are pointing to opposite sides of the room and let everything go. Soften where you need to. Soften where you need to. Good, heavy head. Shake your head no. And then yes. Do that again, say no. And then yes. And then release those toes and toe heel your feet back together again and come on into chair pose. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Keep lengthening that spine, keep reaching those fingers up. Keep sitting a little bit lower, like you're gonna lower right down into a chair. And thumbs to your heart and take chair twist. So take your right elbow outside your left knee for chair twist. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Keep lengthening the spine. And you can open your arms if you want. Lengthening. Good, sending the sit bones back, head forward. Take one more breath, so you can twist a little bit more. Release the hands to the earth. Toe heel your feet apart. From the front, slide your hands underneath the balls of the feet. Soften your knees. Halfway lift and forward fold. This is for gorilla. Keep breathing. Finding the drishti through your legs there. Now close your eyes, stay present. Good, take one more breath and then release that. And come on down to crow pose. So climb up on your triceps, keeping your stomach engaged and really grounding down the L's of the hands, lifting the sit bones straight up to the sky. Keep breathing. Good. Keep breathing. Find your focus a little bit in front of you, not down at the floor. Take one more breath and either jump or float back. Going to chaturanga, to up dog. Good, to downward facing dog. Take a breath and empty out. And then walk your hands back to your feet. And then bring the toes together and clasp your hands behind your sacrum and just stretch forward, softening your knees. And squeezing those scapulas together as much as you can. Keep breathing. Keep your breath going. Take one more breath and then release the hands to the earth and uncurl the spine one vertebra at a time. And we'll come on into eagle. So take your right arm under your left, sink as low as you can in your knees, and then take your right leg over. Squeezing your inner thighs together, finding the drishti right through your forearms, taking the elbows up to shoulder height if you can, hugging it all into the center, and a softness, that effort, balance, and ease. Soften where you can, grounding down into the mound of the left big toe. Take one more breath and then release that. And come on into eagle on the left. Left arm under, and then take your left leg over. Again, hugging it all in, keeping that left hip back, right hip forward. Sink as low as you can in your left supporting leg. Excuse me, your right supporting leg. I'm mirroring you, so sometimes I get mixed up. Okay, here we go. Extended mountain pose. And we'll take eagle one more time on the right. So right arm under, and then right leg over. When you're ready, you can use your big toe as a kickstand. Just find a softness where you can. Imagine yourself a mirror behind you and you're leaning into it. So you stay nice and erect. Take one more breath and then step your right foot forward and come on into airplane. Right into airplane. Sending the fingers right back to the wall behind you and see if you can lift that left leg to 90 degrees. The focus is right out in front. And then step forward and come on up to tree on your right. Find your center, the calmness, and then the tree can grow. It's hard to talk and concentrate and do this. Pushing that foot into the leg into the foot. Keep breathing, keep lengthening, keep grounding. Focus is at eye level once you find your stability. Take one more breath. Thumbs to your heart and then foot to the earth. Extended mountain pose. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And either step or float back to up dog to downward facing dog. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Toe heel your feet again together. Clasp your hands behind your sacrum, and let's take that one more shoulder stretch here. Softening the knees, releasing that head. One more breath. Release the hands to the earth and uncurl the spine one vertebra at a time. Come into extended mountain pose and eagle on your left. Sitting nice and low, and then taking the left leg over the right. Good. Squeezing those inner thighs, finding the drishti right through the forearm, finding that calmness, softness in the upper body as you sink as low as you can in your right supporting leg, standing leg. Good. And then step the left foot forward and come on into airplane. Keep breathing. Good. So you can lift that leg to 90 degrees. And then step the right foot forward and come on up to tree. Good. Pushing the foot into the leg into the foot. Grow the branches, finding the drishti at eye level, staying nice and high off your hips, grounding down to the mound of the right big toe. Good. You want to challenge yourself, look up to the ceiling. Take one more breath. Bring the thumbs to the heart and the foot, your left foot to your right. Extended mountain pose. And forward fold. Halfway lift. And either float or step back to up dog to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, windmill the arms around, and come up to warrior two. Setting yourself up for triangle. So straighten the right knee, send the left hip back, lengthen as much as you can, and then come on forward for triangles. Pushing the hips forward and the shoulders to the back of the room. Expanding as much as you can, taking up as much space as you can, and breathe. Grounding down to all four corners of those feet, keeping your arches lifted. And relax toes, don't grip the mat. Take one more breath. You can look up at your left fingertips if that's available to you. And then soften that right knee, let the left arm bring you up. And then turn your toes towards the side of the room to set yourself up for wide-legged forward fold. Squeeze the scapulas together, eye line follows the wall, and come on forward. If you like, you can come up to a tripod headstand if that's available to you. Keep breathing. Take one more breath and walk your hands around to the front of the room for pyramid. So just drape your torso over your right quad and then walk your fingers back to the back of the space, back of the mat, and just let everything go here. Trying to level out the hips there. And breathe. Letting it all, just releasing into the hamstrings, just letting it go. A nice heavy head. And then bring your hands forward and come up to your left fingertips and open up for triangle. Sending the sit bones back and the head forward. Keeping that stomach engaged, supporting that lower back. And you can look up at your right fingertips if that's available to you. So you inhale, you lengthen the spine, and the exhale, you twist. Take one more breath, and then release the hands to the earth. Step back to high plank, going to chaturanga, lower down to low plank, to up dog, to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward and windmill the arms around or helicopter the arms around to warrior two. Good. Great. Sending that knee right over the third toe. Don't let it roll forward. And then straighten that left knee. Send the left hip back and come on into Trikonasana. Sending the hips forward. And the right arm, you can go beyond the midline here. Just keep lengthening. Keep lengthening as much as you can and twisting. Wringing out here. Good. Take one more breath and then soften that left knee and let the right arm bring you up and turn your toes towards the sides of the room. Squeeze, clasp your hands behind your sacrum, squeeze those scapulas together, look up at the sky, eye line follows the wall, and come on into wide-legged forward fold. Take one more breath, and then bring your thumbs to your hips. Come up with an ironing board back, and turn, oh no, excuse me, stay forward. I'm sorry. I want you to walk around for a pyramid. And then draping your torso over your left quad, letting it go. Keep your breath going. And then walking your hands back towards the back of the space. And just letting the torso hang over your left quad. Being mindful the hips are even. You don't have one higher than the other. It's usually the leg that's in front that is. And then walk your hands back forward and come up to the tips of the right fingertips and open up to twisting Trikonasana. Sending your head forward and your sit bones back, keeping that stomach engaged, and keep lengthening on your inhale and twisting on your exhale. Take one more breath, and then place your hands to the earth, step back to high plank, and slowly, on the count of 5, lower down to your belly. And then place your hands along the sides of the body to set yourself up for locust. On your next inhale, come on up for locust. Sending those fingers right behind you, pointing your toes, squeezing your inner thighs together. So you can get one more rib lifted off the earth. And then release that down and turn your cheek to a side. And just rest here for a couple of breaths. And then bend your knees and we'll take a floor bow. So when you're ready, kick your feet into your hands, hands into your feet, and come on up. Good. Pressing the hip bones into the earth, keeping your stomach engaged. See if you can lift one more rib off, kick those feet into the hands, keep kicking, keep lifting, and then let that go. Turn your cheek to one side. And just take a couple of breaths. And then bring your thumb by your third rib, push down to the tops of the feet and come on into up dog. Good, keeping the shoulders down and back. Take one more breath, lift a little bit higher, and then come into downward facing dog. And either jump, fall, crawl, step, lie down on your back for bridge. So lie down, good, on your back for bridge. So when you're ready, come on up for bridge pose. And you can tuck your shoulders underneath, sending the hips up as high as you can, being mindful that the knees are in alignment with the third toe. Sending your sacrum towards the front of the room, your heart towards the back, and really grounding down on those feet. Pressing the feet towards the front of the room too. Take one more breath, and then uncurl the spine. Okay, we'll do 2 more. You can do 2 bridges or you can do 2 wheels. If you want to do wheel, I know you guys like to do wheel. So plant your hands by your ears and come on up for wheel. Trying to straighten the elbows. If you want, you can take a leg up And then bring it down. And then take the other leg up. And then bring it down. Keep breathing. Come up to the balls of the feet. Straighten those elbows even more. Tuck your chin. And come on down. Okay, take a breath. Plant your hands by your ears, and we'll do one more, and we'll hold it for 10 counts. So here we go. Come on up for wheel. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin. Come on down. Put the soles of the feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. And just let everything go here. Carry a lot of emotions in our hips and our jaws, so try to relax that all if you can. And breathe. Heart's always, mine is anyway. After you do wheel, it's racing. So try to calm it down. And then come on into happy baby. Pressing the sacrum into the earth, don't roll, let it roll up. And then you can rock from side to side if that feels good. Keep your breath going. Then release that and plant your feet right up on the ceiling. Place your hands behind your head and let's pulse up for a 10 towards our feet. Here we go. 10, hollowing out the stomach. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the left leg and bring the hands on the outside of the right knee and pulse up for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that left leg up, lower the right, take the hands over to the arms over to the left side of the outside of the knee. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring the legs up. Make it this kind of a shape, that diamond shape. Place it underneath your sacrum. Flex those feet as hard as you can. Lift the hips off. Lower 30. Another 30. As low as you go. Look at your feet and just flutter kick. Flutter kick those feet. Good. That's right, Mark. Good. And then slowly come up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go again. 30. Keeping that stomach hollowed out. 30. As low as you go. Look at your feet and beat your inner thighs, not your ankles. Your ankles will go along for the ride. Beat. Keep your toes pointed. And slowly come up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Last one. 30. 30. As low as you go. Look at those feet. Keep pressing the heels forward, the head to the back, and slowly come up for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And give yourself a nice big hug and clasp behind, grab behind the knees and rock and roll 3 times and come on up to boat. 3 times, good. And we'll meet up in boat. You can straighten your legs, or you can, yeah, good. Keep breathing, hope you're doing okay. Take one more breath, and then cross those knees. Moving into pigeon, you can do pigeon on your back, or you can do pigeon on your torso. Going to chaturanga if you'd like. You choose. I always like to take my leg up and then come on into pigeon. And just walk your hands forward. If you need to put a prop underneath your right hip, go ahead and do that, a block. And just bringing your awareness back to your breath. Keeping your right foot flexed and being mindful that your left foot's not sickled. And your legs an extension of your hip here. And trying to press that left hip towards the earth. When thoughts come up, just let them float by. By just being present within your physical body. And come on up and meet in downward facing dog and set yourself up for pigeon on the left. Keeping that left foot flexed, making your adjustments. Yes, and come on forward. Then come on up and swing that left foot around and take your arms up overhead, and we'll come into a release forward. Wherever your hands land, that's perfect. They're on the feet, bring the pinky toe back towards you, and with your thumb, press that big toe forward, keeping the round out of the back. And just take a couple of breaths here. And then come on up and place your hands like this and uncurl the spine and lie down on your back and take an inversion. You can do hips on a block. You like to do a headstand, go ahead and do a headstand. I have this fun device here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I want you to take a look at it. Take a look at it. It's called the Feet Up. Have you ever seen one? Yeah, I love it. That's how I do my inversions. So here we go. So any kind of inversion you want to do. Take a hips up. You want to see how it works? They're wonderful. You feel so stable. Keep breathing. And if you're in shoulder stand, you can come into plow. And then deaf man's pose. And then you can slowly uncurl the spine and give yourself a hug, and we'll come into a supine twist. So lengthen your left leg, send your hips over to the right, and then take your right knee over to the left with your left hand, and just stay here for a couple of breaths. And then come on back to center, give yourself another hug, And just switch sides. So send your left hip over to the left, extend your right leg out. And then take your left knee over to the right for a nice supine twist. And then come back to center and give yourself one nice hug, last hug, and come on into Shavasana. And just let it all go. Just bringing your awareness back to your breath and rest. Learn to help yourself heal. I feel a heaviness in my lungs, almost a pain. The next day, I find myself crying, discharging old grief and sadness. On another occasion, I feel sharp pains in my stomach. Within days, denied rage begins to surface and the pain subsides. My head aches, pounds, throbs. Hours later, I fear the fear I've been running from. I feel the energy in my body shifting, moving, taking new shape over the next months. I'm led into a new cycle, a new season in my life. Some of the pains and illnesses that we suffer from are indications of acute physical problems. They're signs that our body has broken down and we need medical attention. But many of the aches and pains we experience are symptoms of a deeper process, a process of healing and cleansing our heart and soul. As we go through our daily experiences, circumstances will trigger this healing. Someone says something that makes us feel angry or afraid, which triggers a feeling similar to the one we repressed years ago. Or a conversation causes us to remember something that hurt us a long time ago, and our body begins to release the pain of that old emotion. Sometimes our aches and pains are signals that some emotion is ready to surface. We need to acknowledge the feeling, feel the energy, let it pass through us, and then watch for the lesson to appear and the pain to dissipate. If we are committed to a path of spiritual growth, our bodies will soon begin to use everything that happens as a vehicle for healing. Trust yourself and listen, and you'll know what to do. You'll find healers and help that will support you as you continue to discover and trust your soul. Remember to trust the simple, everyday wisdom of your body. It is a barometer for your soul.
Wiggle your fingers and toes. Not just a minute, guys. I'm coming. And roll over to a comfortable side. And with your eyes closed, come up to a seated position. And bring your thumbs to your heart and to your third eye. Thank you so much for coming. I love you both. I love having you both in class. It's nice to see you, Vivian. And have a wonderful day, a beautiful day. Namaste.